Okay, so we're on to our last step for getting our essay uploaded to our digital portfolio, which is our last requirement here for today. So what we're going to do is first we're going to make a copy of our essay. This is going to ensure that whatever changes you make to the essay are not copied onto somebody else's essay, and same thing vice versa. If somebody else makes a change to this essay, it's not going to affect the copy that you have. So the way that you're going to do that is you're going to go to File and down to Make a Copy. You're going to change the name to your name, Laura Cost, Theme Analysis. And then make sure that this folder is just your Google Drive, or if you have an English 1 folder that you want to put it into, you can do that as well. So I'm going to go to my drive, I'm going to hit select, and then I'm going to hit OK. You don't need to copy or share, just go ahead and hit OK. Okay, so here this is my own copy. If I make changes to this copy, it will only make changes to this copy. A little side note caveat here. Please don't use this essay in the future, delete these people's names, and turn it in as though you wrote the whole thing. That's plagiarism because you're taking all these other people who worked on the essay, you're taking their work and presenting it as though it were your own. So make sure that you don't do that. If you do want to use like this, the structure of this essay or anything like that, make sure that you're making changes to the other people's paragraphs to communicate your own message, right? So you're not just taking their ideas and their words and regurgitating them as though they were your own. Okay. Rant on plagiarism, done. So how are we going to get this uploaded to our drive? Sorry, our digital portfolio. Go back to this tab that has your Google Drive, and if you click on My Drive, you probably have your digital portfolio sitting somewhere here in these files. If so, you can open it. Otherwise, you can search your drive for your digital portfolio. I made a folder for my digital portfolio, and this is where my digital portfolio is. If you need to pause the video to take care of opening up your Google site, go ahead and do so. Once you're in your digital portfolio, you are going to go to Pages, and you're going to click on English 1. You should have all of your courses listed out here, you might remember. So I'm going to click on English 1, and I'm going to click these 3 dots to expand. I want to add a subpage, so I'm going to click that button there. And I'm going to title this subpage the name of this assignment. So I'm going to say Literature Circle Theme Analysis. You can pause the video to add that page to your English 1 page. And now that we have this page added, I'm going to delete this because it's the second time I've done it. Okay, so now that I have this page created, I'm going to go to Insert. I want to insert the essay into this page. So I'm going to go to From Drive, and I'm going to find my analysis. Mine is here. So I'm going to select that. And now I have my essay inserted into this page of my digital portfolio. But remember that it's going to be like coaches or review boards at colleges or potential employers who are looking at this. So if they just look at this essay, they won't know all of that process that went into creating this essay. So essentially that's what we want to add to this page. So I'm going to click text box here. And if it adds the text box down here, you can click and drag it so that it's up here. And then I'm going to put some context for my reader, what this essay comes from. So it tells you type a description of the project in bold, something like throughout this unit I read and then described the book. At the end of the unit we wrote an essay about theme. The essay showed our ability to use textual evidence, analyze theme, and write introductions and conclusions. If you feel like that's a good description of the work that you did, I don't mind if you use those exact words. Just make sure that you actually write the name of your book. So I read Devils Within, and make sure that it's in italics to indicate that it's the title of a book. And then I'm going to bold that just to kind of make it stand out a little bit. And then the next thing that this asks me to do is to hit enter and write a description of what I learned and discovered throughout the process. It says anything is up for grabs. And it reminds you here that potential colleges, employers, professors, teachers of courses are reading this, right? So you can reflect on anything here, but the important thing is you're trying to show yourself in the best light, because this is going to be a tool for you to really show what you're capable of academically, right? So I'm going to go back here and I'm going to perhaps write about, and you can use any format you like. So maybe you want to do bullet points and say, like reading process. And maybe I'm going to say something like, I never really, oops, I think this would look better if it wasn't bold. Really liked to read before, never literally liked to read. That was before I read Devils Within, and then etc. I'm going to write for maybe a whole paragraph probably here. My next bullet might be writing process, and then we're going to have a paragraph on writing, group work maybe. And again, this is up to you what you want this to look like, but these are some good options. So paragraph on group work. Okay, so the idea here is that now the person who's taking a look at your digital portfolio has this context of what was it like to write this essay for you? What did you learn? How did you grow? So it's going to show that kind of personal aspect behind just like, here's this essay that we wrote. So I hope that after we've written all this, we hit this preview button and we're able to see this really nice sort of summary of the work that we did, and then finally an example of the work that we did. And I think you'll see that it looks actually really impressive once we get that all published. You can imagine sending your digital portfolio to a college review board. They get to see all of this context. They don't just see your SAT score. They see like, look at how much I grew as a reader. Look at how much I grew as a writer. And I think that's going to really enrich the profile that you're sending to them and make you a much better candidate. So go ahead and take a few minutes to do that and then come back because we have just a few more slides. So here's your brain, and the reflection that you wrote really tells me the story about how you grew as a learner throughout this unit. So really the one thing that we have left is this. Yes, Queens, look it, we are done, we did it. You've written your first essay of your high school career, and what I love about that is that it's a really good essay. It's one that you can use as sort of an example throughout your high school career. You can sort of use it as a frame and use it to make your future essays as strong as they possibly can be. So give yourself a high five, give yourself a pat on the back, give yourself a fist bump to all the people in your group. I'm really proud of the work that you guys did. Now, with the extra time that you might have, you have a few options. You can work on work for another class. You can work on your digital portfolio and adding work to those other tabs. So if you have work from a science class that you did online that you'd like to add to that, you may do so. And finally, you can work in your on a new literature circle book if you would like to choose a new one to read independently. Thank you for all your hard work today. I hope that the sub has all good things left to tell me. I'm going to start grading your essays at the end of the day today, and I can't wait to see how they turned out. Thanks, guys.